3 years ago, I had to figure out how to take care of my two daughters on a single income. And I'm going to show you how. So when I separated, it was difficult, right? Now I am responsible for everything with my sole income: rent, daycare, school supplies, the kids' food, everything that goes along with, of course, taking care of kids. And it was difficult, but I made it a mission during that separation that I was gonna make a game plan on how I was gonna increase my income, how I was gonna track everything, how I was gonna be better financially. So I'm gonna share that system with you today. My name is Tony Chan. I am a single dad of two, and I'm gonna document my journey on building wealth, health, and relationship in real time while you watch. So thank you for being here. Okay, the first thing I did was I tracked every spending that was coming out of my bank account. I was tracking all the money I had in my investments, in my what credit cards I was using, all the debit cards. Basically, where is all my money? Where is all of it, right? And I simply had a Google sheet and I just tracked down all the expenses. So all the rent, utilities, internet bills, things that I'm spending on monthly, like everything, I track it down. And all I did was I went to my transaction on my bank statement and I just noted down every single thing that I was buying. I was like, oh, Amazon subscription. Oh, I'm eating out too much. Oh, what is this subscription doing here? I thought I already canceled it. Oh, look at this. This rent is too high. Or I need to negotiate on X, Y, and Z, right? When you look at your transaction, you start to notice patterns, right? And now, this is before AI, I was using it, but now with AI, you can easily put in your bank statements in there, or if you want to be more private, you can like take out key information. You could just ask it to see if it noticed a trend. Like, oh, what trend do you notice and what should I improve on? AI has so much benefits. I definitely recommend you using that, but this was before I started using it. The point is to make sure we have data on all the money that we have. What are all our investments in? Do we need to rebalance the investment? Do we need to change it up? Do we need to change beneficiary as well? Like there's so many things that happen after separation that is so important that the first thing we do is track out where the money is going, right? And then you want to look at the negative numbers in particular that are all red, right? Because these are coming out of your bank statements. What are all the red stuff? What is it going to? And how can I get that money back, right? Because ideally, when we figure out how much money we have left over, it has to be towards the kids, it has to be towards the rent first, the utility, everything that's essential and important. But then we want to figure out what to do with that money next. And that's usually with investments, that's usually with education or things that could help benefit the family or yourself to get more income. Now that we have a clear picture of the money that's coming in and out, and once again, all we need to have is a Google Sheet. On one column is what it is, on the right column and is the amount that's happening. That's all we need to look at, right? I actually avoid using fancy apps like mint.com or anything like that. Is because I just find that every time I download these apps, you have to input all this data, you have to input this, and then you have to have different options to put X, Y, Z. Like there's so many things in it when all you have to do is just copy and paste whatever data that you found and put in Google Sheet. Like I try to keep it as simple as possible. Now the next goal, of course, is to spend less than you make, right? Spend less than you make. This should be like on your model if you're just separated or if you're really tight on money. Why are we spending so much money on materials, on new upgrades, on new iPhones, on the next gaming system, on just stuff we don't need, right? Because remember, one thing I've learned is that it's not just a cost when we pay for these things, but it's also an opportunity cost, especially when it comes to video games and TV shows. Like if we're paying for Netflix, which costs money, it's also costing us an opportunity because we could be doing it to build skills. We could be doing it to work on a business. We could be doing it to increase our career, X, Y, and Z, right? Like there's so many different things we could be doing, but because we're paying for this Netflix stuff, we kind of feel obligated to use it because we're already paying for it, but then we lose opportunity because we are watching Netflix. And gaming is like a big one. It was like a very, I guess, bad behavior of mine. I definitely had gaming addiction before I was separated, and I was buying all these new gaming systems, and gaming's now is more expensive than ever. And luckily, I'm able to quit gaming. I've been having game for a while now, and even gaming, there's like always news of it increasing in prices. And so I'm glad I'm out of that market, or I'm not at least buying as many games as I used to. And then if people are asking you to go out all the time, just tell them no. Like, hey guys, I'm a single dad now. I'm a single parent now, whatever the case may be. I cannot go out no more. I'm sorry. Can we do something free or something like that? They will understand your situation and they will let you be, right? They were not going to try to make you feel guilty about it. They're not going to call you out or anything like that. But okay, I understand, right? So hopefully you have friends like that. And if you don't, You get away from them. And keep in mind, like this is just a short-term thing, right? While we get our foundation set in place, while we are understanding our situation and trying to really get back on our feet, it's very important that we let no one get in our way, right? And that including ourselves. We should not let the pressure of going out or buying new things or upgrading get to us. We want to stand strong and be like, hey, I need to hone in on my finances and really track everything that I'm doing and take action going forward where I keep more of my money. So spend less than you make. Real quick, if you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Really appreciate it. Now back to it. Now, the next step, of course, is once you got the finances in place and you're tracking everything, is to increase the income, right? We want to make more money. That's like the first step we should be doing as after separation or divorce or becoming a single parent is how do we make more money? And to me, the number one way to do that is to increase the career. How can I take more responsibility at work? Ask your boss if you could do anything in particular, new projects, or what's the next step in the career ladder, or is there any opportunities to move up in the company? We have to put more effort and be more aggressive in trying to increase our income so that we have more money for the kids and for ourselves as well. And then, this is super important, is where once we start making enough money, we do not want to fall into the trap of increasing our lifestyle, increasing our room or something like that. So for example, if you get a promotion or bonuses, we don't want to just splurge out and buy stuff, right? You can celebrate, but you don't have to really go out into expensive restaurants to celebrate, right? Like find different ways to celebrate. Or if you got a promotion, you don't need to upgrade to a more expensive apartment or anything like that, right? Spending less than you earn will save you a ton of money. And then once you have more money from promotion and bonuses, you're going to see your wealth skyrocket, right? My wealth has increased 5x since separation 3 years ago, like 5x, right? And that's simply because I spend less than I earn and I save the rest. So I avoid debt. So I try not to use credit cards anymore. And the big thing I'm doing this year in 2026 is I'm actually not using credit cards no more and using debit cards. And Dave Ramsey talks about this, but there is actually a study where it said that people with credit card, something was psychological where it actually makes people use the credit card more or use the card more, even though it's a credit card versus using a debit card. And from what I noticed when I switched over to debit card or started using it more often is that it's in real time. Like when you're using debit card, you know that's your cash. It's not like some fake loan from the bank. It's your cash and is in real time. So you can see it taken out of your checking account or saving account, the checking account. And so it kind of makes the pain more real. It kind of makes the pain more real time, right? And so I noticed that. I was like, oh, let me not pay for that. I don't need to pay for this, right? So I do notice my hesitation to pay for more things when I start using debit card, simply because it is my money in real time being taken out if I use it. So I do recommend if you try that it could work. And I think there's other ways to build your credit score if it's really low. But ideally, we want to avoid credit card as much as possible if we know that it's spending too much. And this is me. I pay my balances off in time. So I don't have a problem paying my balance in full. It's more of, it's already making me spend more than I want to. That's the problem, right? And that's what I'm trying to avoid if I'm trying to build my wealth. Now let's talk about investment, because I think that investment is a big part of wealth building. And when I talk about investment, I'm talking about 401k, Roth IRA, a brokerage account, high yield saving account. There's a great book that I just read called Simple Path to Wealth. And this is simply a retirement type of plan, like a future-proof type of plan, where I essentially am investing in one stock, which is called VTSAX, and just keeping it super simple. Once again, I'm not trying to do anything fancy. I'm not trying to overcomplicate my life. I'm investing in a stock that have a history of doing good, which is a part of Vanguard. I think everybody knows what Vanguard is. And I just invest in that, right? I max out the Roth IRA. I max out the contribution that the company has. So I definitely recommend that because that is free money. And I just use Vanguard because from what I understand, the people that own Vanguard also is a part of making the stocks. And so like they have to do good so that everybody else could do good. Y'all can read more about that. But that's why I use Vanguard. Now, keep in mind the AI, or not the AI, but the UI or the user interface is not the best, but it still works, okay? But that is part of wealth building. Like I've seen my investment grown to over 15% per year. using Vanguard and investing in stocks. And so that is one of the best way to me to wealth building, right? And on top of that, I think there's people don't keep this in mind as well, is when you leave your money in a checking account, that money doesn't grow, right? Like the interest rate that you get from leaving your money in a check account is super low. Like you barely get cents. You probably only get cents, right? And the next thing that I did last time was I used Wealthfront, which has a high yield saving percentage, which was like 5.5, but that thing went all the way down to a 3.25 now within a year. And I was like, okay, well, that sucks, but still it's better than putting it into a checking account where it's barely making any money. But the whole goal is to have the money earn money for us. That's a mouthful. But that's what I'm saying though. Like we want the money to be compounding over time and just set it and forget it. Like that's my whole thing. I don't want to focus on all these complicated trades. I don't want to quickly sell and buy and sell and trade and all this other stuff. Just put in this one stock that I know is going to grow over time and just let it be. And so that's what I'm doing with a part of my wealth building. And then on the side is I'm trying to build my own business in B2B email marketing. So I'm going to be doing consulting for that. I'm increasing my career as much as possible. I'm always learning new skills. I'm always applying for better jobs. My contracting role right now is the most I've ever gotten paid. And once again, when I got that big pay raise, or once I found a job that paid a lot more, I did not try to upgrade my style. I kept everything the same. My life is like so at peace and so easy. I don't need to complicate it with anything else, right? So I'm trying to keep my life as simple as possible. So that is how I am managing on a single income as a single dad of two. I track all my money on where it's going. I have a Google sheet of all the stuff that's happening, all the rent, utility, everything I'm paying for. I look at my transactions every day because like I want to see what's happening with my bank account. Is it going up? Is it going down? Right? And if it keeps going down and down and down, I need to make a change, right? But if it's going up and up and up, I know that I'm making the right decisions and that it's growing. And luckily so far in the past 3 years, I have been crushing it in terms of wealth. And I just want to keep that momentum going, right? So I hope this was helpful on how I manage my income. And my call to action to you is definitely try to increase your career first. Like that's the fastest path to getting more income or finding a better job, because building a business is very difficult. And don't try to get into these crazy situations with gambling or these other shady stuff. Just focus on building a career. Like you got to make an effort on that. And that's what I recommend the most. So my name is Tony Chan. I really appreciate you watching. Peace.